There is a focus on the UDL principle of means of representation, that the examples and representation in the classroom are reflective of the demographic nature and representation within the student body, that those things match, that the students are able to see themselves within their education. Techniques will be weekly interviews with the teacher, monthly self assessment, and teacher reflections along this process, and especially at the conclusion of the study. The dependent variable, meaning engagement, the tool used will be an engaged learning rubric, so that there will be a specific metric used to first set a standard at the beginning to say, okay, how engaged are these students, both as a whole group and then focus groups of ELL students, and then how does this engagement level um, change throughout the study. It may or may not, and that information is what I will be looking for in the research to see if the implemented independent variables affect that dependent variable of engagement according to this rubric. And this will be done through weekly observations in the classroom, probably 30 to 45 minutes every week. Next steps, data analysis. The next thing is to identify the variance between group means and to see if they're significant statistically. So these group means must be examined and compared. Then the data will be evaluated against the model provided to determine whether or not the assumption of the analysis is congruent. So all that to say, is there an effect? Bottom line, is there an effect between engagement and these culturally inclusive practices? And this strategy is all within the ANOVA process. And there are other tests to ensure that the validity and the of the data recorded is there, and that everything was handled in an appropriate manner. Those will be employed as well. Further study, there are several questions, of course, that could be asked. Which variable? It could be narrowed to a single variable in additional studies. How effective was it? Kind of taking more of a qualitative approach with the independent variables, and then the efficacy of each strategy is examined. And that is the conclusion of my research proposal thus far. If you have any questions, you can look at my work that I've done through National University on my showcase, or you can send me an email at jdomeng1591@student.nu.edu. Thank you very much.